Yanati.
And Miss Yanati, where do you live?
I live at 1287 Jackson Parkway here in Kill, Carolina.
And that's here in Jackson County?
It is.
Miss Yanati, do you live there alone?
I know my son Michael, my baby boy, he and I live there together.
How old is Michael?
He's just 12 years old.
And does Michael go to school?
He does. He goes to school at Horatio Alger Middle School.
And does he do anything else at school?
Well, before all this, he played on the soccer team, and he really loved it, but not anymore.
Why doesn't he love it anymore?
Because of what Coach Stewart did.
You mentioned Coach Stewart. If you were to see him, would you be able to identify him?
Yes,
Is he in the courtroom today?
he is.
Could you point him out and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Yes, he's over there in that grayish suit with that striped red and I think it's blue tie.
Record will so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Yanati, you said that Johnny Stewart was Michael's coach. Is that
He was.
right? Do you know anything about that relationship?
Yes, actually, Michael would talk to me about his relationship with Coach Stewart, and before all this, he would speak very fondly of him, and I felt like it was a positive thing in his life because Coach Stewart was kind of like a father figure. My husband and I recently divorced, and it's been really difficult. Michael's father isn't around, and he's not part of his life, and so I thought that Coach Stewart would be a good help for him going through this. And now I just feel so betrayed.
Why do you feel betrayed?
Because of what he
Wait,
did.
1 second here. Counsel, do you have an objection to that question and the solicited answer?
Why does she feel betrayed?
Yes, sir.
Sure I should. Relevant?
Good guess. Withdraw that question.
Ms. Yanati, I would like to direct your attention to the weekend of January 15th through the 19th. Do you remember that weekend?
I do. That weekend was the weekend that this happened, where I had talked to Michael on Thursday. He had called me and told me he had soccer practice and he would get a ride home with either Coach Stewart or a friend. And then I didn't see Michael again until that horrible Monday morning when everything changed.
So the next time you saw Michael was on Monday?
Yes.
When did you see Michael then?
It was in the early morning hours of that Monday. I was at home and awoke to a banging on the door. And so I immediately ran to the door to find out what was happening, and found Michael just banging on the door and out of breath, and his face was wet with tears, and he smelled terrible. He was wearing the same clothes that I'd seen him last in, and it was truly the worst experience of my life.
When you opened the door and saw Michael like this, did he tell you anything?
He did. It took a little bit to get it out of him. I think that just for him to catch his breath, and I wanted to make sure he was okay. And he told me that he had just ran all the way home from Coach Stewart's house.
Objection, hearsay, Your Honor.
It's hearsay if offered for the truth of it. And counsel, what do you say about that?
Well, the witness has just stated that when she opened the door, Michael was crying and he was upset, saying that he had just run from the defendant's house. So it would fall within the exception to the hearsay rule as an
What
excited
exception?
utterance.
And part of the, let's say, race gesti of the event of his coming home?
Yes, sir, that he had just escaped. Well, he had just left the defendant's home.
Overall the objection, but it was an objection well made. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me just say to both counsel, please don't thank the court for ruling either in your favor or against you. Just We'll just carry on.
Did Michael tell you anything?
Yes, he said that he had been at Coach Stewart's house, that he had went there with him after school. He said that the coach had told him that he just needed to run by his house real quick, and that he didn't really know why, but that he said it would just be for a minute. And then when he got there, he went inside, but not in his
Objection,
house.
narration, Your Honor.
I think the objection would have a little more force. Yes, the witness is definitely narrating something. She's relating what her son told her, but I don't believe within the confines of the excited utterance or race gesta that she said anything improper. So I will listen closely, and if she starts putting in inadmissible things, we will ask for questions and answers. But for the time being, we'll provisionally overrule the objection.
You said that Michael told you that he was at the defendant's house. Did he tell you how long?
Well, he said that he had gotten there on Friday, and that he had been held there. Like at first that he got distracted because of all the posters, and he had really cool video games, and that so he decided that he wanted to stay. But then once he changed his mind, he couldn't leave.
Did he tell you why?
Well, he said that he didn't have his phone, that Coach Stewart had taken his phone away from him, and so he couldn't even call me to come and get me, or for me to come and get him. And then he said that there were no windows or clocks, so he didn't even know how much time had passed, and that he just tried to actually like tell him that he wanted to go home, and he kept saying like, you know, that he couldn't go, or like to try and distract him, or even like at one point got mad at him and called him an ungrateful bastard. But that he finally like tried to go, and the door was locked. And then later he tried to go again, and that Coach Stewart had actually like passed out, and so he was able to get out, and that's when he escaped and ran all the way home.
Ms. Yanati, did you give the defendant permission to take Michael home with him?
No, no, I did not. I never told him that he could do that.
Did you speak with the defendant at all while Michael was at his house?
No, I did not.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Ross.
Ms. Yanati, my name is Nicholas Rico. I have some questions for you.
Okay.
You love your son, right?
Yes, of course I love my son.
And you do anything in your power to keep him safe, wouldn't you?
Yes, I think any mother would do anything that they could to keep their child safe. That's why I think this is so terrible, because I trusted Coach
So that's a
Stewart.
yes. You do anything in your power to keep him safe.
Yes, absolutely.
Ms. Yanati, did Michael call you on Thursday?
He did.
And during that call, he stated he was going to catch a ride home from one of his friends with Coach Johnny Stewart, right?
Yes, he did.
And he often caught rides from Coach Johnny Stewart, didn't he?
Yes, from school to our house, but never to his house.
So that's a yes. He often caught rides.
From Coach Stewart, from school to our house. Yes,
So yes, he often caught rides from Coach Stewart.
yes, to our house.
And did you ever you never told Michael not to take a ride from Coach Stewart, to accept a ride from Coach Stewart, did you?
No, but I also never told Michael to not do drugs or to not like I don't know.
Just
do
yes or
terrible
no.
things. No,
Just
I
yes.
didn't ever say do not go to Coach Stewart's house.
And like you previously said, Michael often caught these rides from Coach Stewart to and from soccer practice.
Yes, to our house.
Okay. And you never saw Michael Thursday night, correct?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I work a lot, so sometimes I don't see him in the
Let me
night.
just answer the question asked.
Yes.
And you didn't speak with Michael Thursday night.
I did not speak to him Thursday night.
And you didn't call him on his cell phone Thursday night to see where he was.
No, I didn't.
Friday, did you see Michael?
No, I didn't see him on Friday.
And Friday, did you call him on the phone?
No, I didn't. I was at work.
And then Saturday, did you speak with Michael?
No, I didn't speak to Michael on Saturday.
And Saturday, Did you call him on the phone to see where he was?
No, I didn't. I was at work.
And Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you never called anyone to see where your son was, correct?
No, I thought he was with friends.
Then Sunday. Didn't see Michael.
No, I didn't see Michael on Sunday.
Didn't call Michael Sunday, correct?
No, I didn't. I thought he was with friends.
Then Monday, Michael shows up pounding on the door at 4 a.m., correct?
Yes, it was terrible.
Pounding on the door, and you let him in, correct?
Yes, of course.
And then you took him straight to the police department after he told you the story, correct?
After he told me the story, I did.
So, straight to the police department, 4 a.m., you went straight to the police department,
Well,
correct?
no, I mean, he was upset, and so I had to, like, give him a chance to, like, clean up a little bit and fed him, and he was exhausted. I mean, it's 4 a.m. in the morning.
So, in fact, you didn't take him straight to the police department like you previously just stated. You waited till noon to speak with the detective, isn't that correct?
Yes, but it was at that point that he had kind of gotten in a better situation to tell me the full story. And he's 12 years old, he was very scared, and I think he was worried
Ms.
about
Yanati,
people
Ms.
being
Yanati,
mad.
you waited till noon to take him to the police department, correct?
Yes,
or no?
but it was, you asked me if
Yes.
it was right after, and it was right after.
Counsel, you cut the witness off if it goes beyond your questions, which are capable of being answered yes or no, and haven't heard any that really required an explanation, but the burden is kind of on you to shut the witness down.
Yes, Your Honor. Michael, he's had some problems at school, correct?
He has.
And he's been absent 23 times since the start of school?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
He's been absent 23 times since school started, correct?
I'm not sure of the exact number, but, I mean, his attendance has been a problem.
Does 23 times sound about right to you?
It does.
And he's been tardy 15 times, correct?
I believe so.
And he's been suspended before, also, correct?
Unfortunately, it's not something I'm proud of.
And right now, he's up for expulsion because of his tardiness and truancy. Isn't that right?
There's a hearing that was supposed to take place, yes.
No further questions.